Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of my Christmas decorating series. If you missed parts 1 and 2, I have them linked down below for you to check out. On this morning, I woke up and made some coffee, and I put on the 90s version of Little Women. I love the aesthetic of the newest version better, but I definitely feel like the 90s version is so much more Christmassy and cozy. While that was on, I sat down and made some orange slice garlands. I took an ornament hook and just twisted one side and made like a little sewing needle out of it. And then I just tied a bit of twine on one end and I just threaded it through each orange slice twice. I hung them up across the curtain rods of my breakfast dining room, and I just love the homemade feel that the orange slices bring to this room. If you missed how I make dried orange slices, they are in part 1 of my decorating videos. Next, I decided to decorate my bedroom in a Scottish style with lots of tartan plaids and faux furs. Scotland is my husband's favorite place out of all the countries we've traveled to, so I wanted to incorporate it somewhere in this house. I got this book that I thrifted from our upstairs, and we never looked in this, so I decided to take some photos out of it and frame them. I Mod Podge over them to give them some texture, and I added them to some gold frames that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I didn't film me putting this room together because I wanted to get it done really quickly because I had a lot to do on this day. The green velvet cushion covers and the plaid cushion covers are from Amazon. The red plaid pillow is from Costco, and the green plaids that are on the bed are part of a sheet set that I got from Amazon, and I will link all of those down below. I hung a large bow in the center of this garland above my bed. It's made out of strips of ripped chiffon. It's the same that I used on my banister in part 2 of my series. And this bedding is so incredibly beautiful in person. It ships from the UK, and I will link it down below. I hung a simple wreath with more green chiffon in this thrifted gold mirror. And above the big windows, I added more garland. On my bookshelf, I added this red plaid scarf that I bought in Edinburgh, so it's extra special to me. At around 11 a.m., I started on a crock pot soup. I literally just dump everything in this and let it slow cook all day. It doesn't get any easier than that. You can add anything you want to this soup. I added all the veggies I had left in my fridge, the rest of a jar of tomato sauce, and just garlic, a bunch of spices. And I just decided to caramelize the onions today, even though you don't have to. I added 2 frozen chicken breasts directly into the crock pot and a bunch of herbs like rosemary, thyme, dill, oregano, zucchini ranch. And then I ended up adding a bit of nutmeg too to this. Then came the tomato sauce, mushrooms, Worcestershire sauce, and a pack of au jus. This is what kind of thickens the soup. And I added a whole carton of chicken bone broth. Beef bone broth would have been a little bit better, but I didn't have any. But it still turned out so delicious. Next, it was time to tackle my most ambitious craft of the season. You may have seen when I spray painted the thrifted dollhouse to make a spooky Victorian mansion for Halloween. I wanted to redo another thrifted house, but make it look like a Tudor cottage to keep in with my English country theme. So, like black and white with a thatched roof. I found this little playhouse for $2. I really loved the shape of it and I knew I could turn it into something cute. I cleaned it off really well and dried it. I broke off the handle. Then I spray painted the whole roof black so no pink would accidentally show through anywhere. Then I used 2 containers of spackle from the Dollar Tree to coat the outside of the house. I globbed it all on and then I went over with a smoother tool. This was a messy process, but I loved the look in the end. I did get a process down. I just added a little bit of water to the spackle and it went on much easier, so I know for next time. For the windows, I bought this clear poster board from Michael's for $1. I just drew diagonal lines with a Sharpie and then crisscrossed them to make a diamond pattern. I outlined the windows on the house with some tracing paper and then made patterns on black spray painted cardboard. I glued the clear poster board windows to the cardboard and it looks like little framed windows. I painted the door and house interior dark brown, and then it was time for my favorite part, which was the black timbers that I made out of strips of cardboard, and I just spray painted them black and used super glue to attach them. This process was so much fun. that was done, it was time to add the thatch roofing, which took a good half hour. It was a lot of holding and waiting for glue to dry, but I'm so happy with how this turned out, and I cannot believe this used to be a little pink house. I added some stone walls, some deer, and a church that I bought from TJ Maxx. It's not an entire village, but I plan on making another English country house or maybe a shop to add to this next year. The soup had been cooking for about 7 hours. I went ahead and pulled the chicken out with some tongs, chopped it up, and then added it back into the crock pot, added more salt, and it was ready to eat. I had put off decorating the tree because I wanted to make a Tudor rose garland, so I got some felt from the store and I just started to assemble them little by little. It took a few days, but I finally had enough to make a garland for my tree. I couldn't find any on Etsy or anywhere, and the ornaments by themselves were like $15 to $20. That would have cost way too much, so I knew I had to make my own. Once they were all done and dry, I laid them out face down on my island, and I got some dark green velvet ribbon and just glued them on, and then I let that dry for about 12 hours, and then it was time to decorate the Christmas tree. I didn't film us decorating the tree because it's a time for my family to all be together and help decorate together. It's a tradition that I hope my boys carry on when they have families of their own. After the lights were put on, I added my Tudor rose garland. Then I tucked these framed prints into the tree branches that incorporate past queens of England and Scotland. Then we added orange slice ornaments and ornaments that we bought on our travels. And then these faux candles that just clip directly onto the tree and give it that Victorian look, finished off with a burgundy velvet ribbon. Finally, the antique angel on the top of the tree was put on, and our tree was complete. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.